Well, last night, America had a chance to watch what many will believe was the most exciting college football game we have seen in ages. For me personally, I'm going to tell you, that was a better game than watching Notre Dame play Miami back in the Catholic versus the Convicts game back in the 1980s. Jimmy Johnson was coaching Miami. But last night's game, man, that was something to behold. I sat there riveted for, I don't know, over 3 hours, sitting there going, oh my gosh, I don't know which way it's going to come out. It went back and forth. You never knew who was going to win. And finally, at the end, Indiana prevailed by the score of 13-10. Now, let's be honest. Ohio State was number one, has been number one for many years, and is considered one of the best football teams in America. I don't doubt that one iota. But every once in a while, something's going to happen. And last year, if you remember, Indiana lost 2 games. One was to Notre Dame, and the second game was to Ohio State. Those 2 teams ended up fighting it out for the national championship, and obviously Ohio State was victorious. All right, that was last year. But Indiana, well, they decided they were going to come back this year. Even more. Coach Signetti, who is, well, he looks about as driven as anything I've ever seen, said, we're going to keep on coming on. We've got a score to settle. And last night, in front of, 80-some thousand people, I believe, in the dome, or in the Lucas Oil, and millions, and I mean millions of people, probably one of the biggest games, college football ratings ever, were sitting there by their TV watching the game. I have friends of mine who went down there, got 2 tickets, cost them $600 a pop for a ticket. And they went. God bless them, they got to see something cool. Me, I ain't spending $600 for a ticket. Sorry. Got to watch it at home, took it easy, had a good time, sat in my lazy chair, and never fell asleep. It was that kind of game. 13-10. So, how to work out? Well, here is the final matchup. According to the committee that determines the top 12 teams, take a look and see who the top 12 teams are. And there you're going to take a look at it and see exactly what it is. And you're going to see, guess who didn't make it? Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish did not make it, probably because they lost to Miami in the first game of the season. Look who came in, James Madison. Wow, unbelievable. Tulane Green Wave. Teams in there you hadn't seen before. But if you take a look, the number 1 and number 2 slots have, flipped. Does that mean they could meet again if they both make it to the national championship? Man, that would be a big game if it does. I mean, a really big game. But let me tell you what happened after the game was over last night. Apparently, a petition was started by Ohio State, a number of Ohio State fans, and they started signing this petition, and it went to thousands of people. I want you to take a look at this, what they said. Take a look at this. It was fueled by what they said was emotion and controversy. Okay, what were they upset about? Well, they believed they lost not stemmed from the gameplay. They said, okay, no game was played. They played on there. They played their hearts out. Everybody played. But Ohio State lost. And they said the reason was the following. The officials were biased. Well, I've been able to claim that against certain other officials all the time, and more often than not, I'm wrong, but that was one of the claims. Secondarily, key calls unfavorably favored Indiana. Hey, I saw calls on both sides. That first call against first play, flattened the quarterback of Indiana. Yeah, apparently it was legal, but dang, come on, man. Several penalties against Ohio State were manufactured. I don't know about you, but manufacturing calls? I saw some calls. I saw a call where an Indiana person was grabbing the quarterback, but the quarterback got away, grabbed him by the face mask. There was no face mask called against the folks over at Ohio State. Hey, things happen in a game. Referee's a human. And Indiana had allegedly engaged in bribery to influence the outcome of the game. Woo! Well, apparently a lot of people signed this petition. And by the time the petition reached its peak, there were thousands and thousands of signatures. And what they were demanding from the NCAA, take a look. Review the referee's decisions. Okay. Investigate Indiana for alleged misconduct. All right, fine, do that. and consider overturning or nullifying or even replaying the game. A whole lot of people signed this. Trust me, they did. Well, NCAA looked at it and said, they said, here's the deal. After reviewing the claims, the NCAA, video, and the referee's reports, the NCAA said following: no evidence of bribery or misconduct by Indiana was recorded anywhere. 2, no refereeing violations capable of affecting the game's outcome happened. 3, no justification for overturning or altering the result. And they said the game fell within the rules. And the game is valid, final, and unchallenged. All right, so what happened? Well, here's what happened. As a result, a bunch of Ohio State fans said, with the heat of the moment, we were upset, we were angry, we didn't have the numbers right. Frankly, we were just pissed we lost. So they signed a petition. Everybody's entitled to do that, folks. Everybody is entitled to do that if you want to. The truth is, rarely do we see things happen. Yes. Now, with the concept of NIL, name, image, and likeness, the new thing, paying players, we've seen what's happened with cheating in the NBA, folks. You've seen it. You've seen players are, making millions of dollars, but are so addicted to gambling for a few $100,000 they're willing to shave points. Point shaving has happened in the years ago in the NCAA. It's happened. It's happening now in the NBA. Big gambling schemes. They say it has to do with organized crime. And anytime you get betting, and now understand something, you can now get an app on your phone. Whatever you want. You can get a phone app, just like, get everyone you need. Gamble on your phone. Because now gambling is now apparently okay nationwide. Everybody can gamble now. Give them $5, they give you $50 worth of money to gamble with. It's a sucker bet. But people are doing it. And anytime you get gambling involved, organized crime and bad people are going to get in there and try to shave points, do whatever they can so they get the way to win even more money. And sadly, the players are human. And many of them are addicted to their gambling themselves, and they're willing to do things for money. It's the world we live in, folks. I hate the idea that gambling has become so pernicious in our society, and now even the Major League, the NFL. NFL has their own gambling site. Everything is fine. Everything is gamble, gamble, gamble. Didn't used to be that way, but it is today. And unfortunately, you're going to see things happen. But what happened last night between Indiana University and the Ohio State University? See, I'm being polite. What happened last night was one hell of a game. And I'm happy to say I got to watch it, and so many other people did. I didn't watch it down in Indianapolis because I ain't paying $600 a ticket. But it was one of the greatest football games I've seen. And maybe it was retribution for all the years Ohio State has come in and steamrolled Indiana. I remember when my kids went down to Indiana University. Nobody went to the games. About the only people at the games were the cheerleaders. And some of them didn't want to be there. But now the stadium is full. They're going to spend millions of dollars upgrading the stadium, make it really cool. Will they be able to repeat what they did in the last 2 years? I don't know. Will Coach Cignetti be there forever? Who knows? Everything's flexible, folks. But right now, one moment in time, we had that one moment. And that moment was a chance to see Indiana University championship in what? Forever? Finally win one. And do it on national TV in prime time for all America to see? It makes you wonder how many young high school students, football players, are saying, dang, I want to go to that school. I want to be under that coach. Will it help? Heaven only knows. Will it hurt? I don't think so. But right now, place and time, Indiana University has put itself on the map as a school to be reckoned with. No longer a laydown. When they play anybody, that can be a good game. Now, there are people who said, well, their schedule was lousy. It was with a bunch of cream puffs. Okay, Say what you want. Oregon, I don't think, was a cream puff because Oregon's in the top 12. Oregon's in the big dance. Ohio State's in the big dance. So we'll see what happens. So now we've got the NCAA championship coming up. Gives us something to watch in the remainder of December and going into January and when you get close to the Super Bowl. Something to keep you occupied during the cold days of winter. And believe me, we've got some cold days of winter because I believe this year Indiana is going to see a winter like they haven't seen in a very long time. Just my opinion. But football, man, it was enjoyable to watch, and I have a smile on my face and a song in my heart. Only because I spent all my money putting my daughters through Indiana University. At least I'm getting some pleasure finally. And that's what I have to say, and now you know.